So for this video, I'm going to go ahead and walk you through some examples about taking a problem and listing the 5 W's. Again, if you have not watched the first video discussing them, and also if you haven't had a chance to read the textbook chapters 1 and 2, please stop watching this video. Go read the textbook. It's worth your time. You want to build that habit of reading the textbook. It's so important to being successful in this class. All right, so let's start with this first example. It says a report on the Houston Marathon listed each runner's gender, country, age, and time. So the who are going to be the runners. The what, these are the variables. And so it gives us 4 variables. We have gender, country, age, and time. And as I mentioned in a previous video, go ahead and take a few minutes or even a minute and just think, are these variables quantitative or categorical? Remember, if they are going to be quantitative, you must be able to think of a unit of measurement for that variable. So gender is going to be categorical. I'm just going to put in parentheses C for categorical. Country, also categorical. Age, I'm going to say age is quantitative, and the units are going to be years. You could also make an argument that age could be categorical if they require the runners to pick their age group, and the age group is listed maybe by 5 years or 10 years, whatever it is. But I'm just going to go with that each runner just listed their age in years, so quantitative. And for time, also quantitative, and the units for that are going to be hours / minutes / seconds. All right, for the when. Now again, it doesn't list when this actually happened. I know the Houston Marathon is in January, so I'm going to put January. And don't worry, no, I don't run marathons. Okay, and then the other 3 say where, how, and why. Where, Houston. How, now this one is fun. Every year I try to ask students how they think they would get this information. Now, obviously, registration, a lot of students recognize that most of this information is going to come from registration. But in terms of the time, all right, there are many ways that marathons can find out the time, but I like to write that it's bib chips. So each runner gets a bib that they attach to their clothing, and then they have little tiny chips that measure their start and finish time. All right, for the why. Now, there's probably many reasons you could list for why. You could just put for results. Right, see what place you came in. But I'm going to put also for qualification, right? Because the Houston Marathon, as far as I know, I haven't checked in a while, but many years ago, the Houston Marathon was one of the marathons you could use to qualify for the more prestigious marathons. So qualification. All right, so again, you could have written when not listed. You could have written how, kind of just gone with registration or timing. But just try to do your best, even if the information is not given, to list something. All right, let's do the next one. The next one says a Consumer Report article on energy bars gave the brand name, flavor, price, number of calories, and grams of protein and fat. For the who, that's going to be the energy bars. All right, for the what, these are the variables. We've got brand name. We've got flavor, price, calories. We've got protein and fat. Okay, now take that minute and go through to see if they are categorical or quantitative. Brand name is going to be categorical. Flavor, categorical. Price, quantitative. I'm going with dollars. Calories, quantitative, and calories, the units. Protein, it says in the problem that protein is listed in grams. So quantitative, grams of the units, and same with fat, quantitative with grams. All right, so for when, it doesn't say when. I don't really have a guess on when this would have happened. You could put at the end of the year, end of a quarter. I don't know when they would have done this, but I'm just going to put not listed because I really don't have an educated guess on when they would write this article. For the where, again, I don't really have much information to go off. I'm just going to say United States just to keep it like instead of writing not listed again, but you could write not listed. For the how, there's a lot of answers here that I would completely accept. Many years students just say, well, you could just go to the store and buy a bunch of energy bars and look at the product information on the back. You can write that. That's fine. I'm just thinking more of like if this is a website that someone's writing an article to list like the top energy bars, then they're probably just going to ask the energy bar companies to send them samples. So I'm just going to say how is they were sent samples from companies. And for the why, I'm just going to put for consumer information. All right, again, there's not one right answer here. So just kind of one of your first, maybe not your first, but one of your first reminders that this is not really like your traditional math class. All right, let's do one more example together. We've got the state education department requires local school districts to keep these records on all students' age, race / ethnicity, days absent, current grade level, standardized test scores in reading and math, and any disabilities or special educational needs. So the who are going to be the students. Every year I get some students in my class who think the who are going to be the school districts. But if you look at the variables, all right, just look at the variables that they're listing off and who, and that's going to have to help you describe the who, all right, because you're looking at age, race / ethnicity, days absent. They're talking about students here. All right, so the what's going to take a little longer to list all of those variables. So we've got age, race / ethnicity. We've got absences. We've got grade level, test scores, and then we have any disabilities / special needs. Okay, so take a moment to go through what type of variables they are. Age, I'm going to go with that age is quantitative, right, in years. Race / ethnicity is going to be categorical. Absences, quantitative, and I'll put the units are days. For grade level, I think this is categorical because they're just picking either 9, 10, 11, 12 if it's high school, or more options if they're going to elementary school. So I'm going to go with categorical here. For test scores, quantitative, that's going to be points, or I'm not even sure, percentiles maybe, whatever they choose to put down for test scores. And then for disabilities / special needs, I'm going to put categorical. All right, for when, I'm going to say the beginning of the school year. They've got to have all this stuff on file. So let's say August. Doesn't really say, but I think that's a plausible guess there. For where, let's see, where. Well, it's talking about the state education department, and we live in Texas. Let's just go with Texas. For how, I'm going to say registrations, right? Orientations. Your parents or you are putting in a lot of this information. Also looking at the, especially for our school, the college counseling department, they come up with, or they report the test scores for us. And then the counseling department for any special needs. For why, this just says it's a requirement. It says the state education department requires it. So I'm just going to put requirement. All right, so that's kind of your first kind of taste of how you're going to do the 5 W's. If you need to watch this video again, please feel free. Go ahead and read chapter 2 if you haven't, because one of the first grades that's coming around very soon is going to be a Kahoot, where you have to answer some of these questions about the 5 W's and also determining if variables are categorical or quantitative. So you want to make sure you read first, watch the videos, prep before you do that Kahoot for a grade. All right? Excellent.